Hey, welcome to the 10th episode of Kicking It with Coach. I got a special guest, Mr. Jonah Tincher. I coached Jonah for 4 years for football at Mountain Island Charter. Jonah's currently a football player, student athlete at Carson, Newman. Jonah, how have you been?
Been doing good, coach. Just trying to stay active and get the schoolwork done. Trying to stay on top of things.
No doubt.
So far, I feel like I'm doing good.
Did y'all have exams this week?
Yes, sir. I had four exams this past weekend. Uh,
So how have your academics been going in college so far as a freshman?
so far, it's good. I learned what not to do and what to do. So the first semester, I did pretty well, and then second semester, I started slacking, playing video games and stuff like that. But I got it pulled together, and I got a 3.6 GPA on the year. So
That's some
yeah, I
heck of
made the dean's list as well.
that's some heck of a slacking if you can get a 3.6 and make the dean's list. But that's a part of who you are, as a student.
Yes,
Like
sir.
you don't take you a lot, and we'll get into that much later. What's some goals that you have for this upcoming year, both academically and athletically?
All right. So I would say that academically, I'd like to maintain my GPA over a 3.2. And then for football wise, I'd like to start traveling on the away games and the home games, possibly get into some starting reps.
How did your college season go so far last year?
Uh, it, I think it went well overall. I have a lot to learn. Coming in there and playing a new position that I really didn't play a lot in high school. There was a lot to learn, and I backed up Nate Kraft as a punter, and he showed me a lot of things, but trying to work on that, just getting better and better. But we think we had a 8-3 record last year. Went to the playoffs, second round. We lost to West Florida, or no, we lost to Lenore Ryan, and then West Florida beat Lenore Ryan, and we ended up beating them, but they won the national championship. So it just shows that we do have potential, and hard work can get it done as long as we're on the same page.
For sure. So y'all went against Lenore Ryan. How was that kid Duggar that got drafted by the Patriots?
Oh, he's an animal. Just watching him on the field, and I saw he went to the Patriots, and I was like, Coach Washington, you're gonna like that one. But he just seemed like he was all over the field. I mean, every play, he's a big guy for sure. But
What was your biggest transition between high school and college?
I'd say the biggest transition was probably the social game, getting to know people and make some friends. In high school, I knew everybody and I talked to everybody, and when I went to college, I was kind of reserved and didn't really talk to a lot of people. So I'd say that's probably the hardest thing. It just, I mean, academically wise, you got to learn how to do your assignments when you get them. You can't keep putting them off and putting them off unless, I mean, you're going to be with a lot of work at the end.
For sure. How important is taking your academics seriously in high school?
In high school, it's very important. It definitely helps out with recruiting because, I mean, I wasn't the best athlete on the field, but my academics really helped. I feel like the better academics you have shows that you'd be more dedicated in college, and it's something you need to take serious. Just going to the next level because you can't play on the field if you don't have the grades in the classroom.
For sure.
I've seen a lot of kids this year that take their grades for granted, and then they're not able to go back to school this year.
How did your high school experience help shape your college experience?
I'd say that it's just like a little stepping stone, honestly. I feel like I kind of took a step up to the big leagues, and it's a lot more serious. I'd say the weight room at MICS, um, there needs to be work done there. And then, I mean, on the field, we got it. We got everything on the field, coaching staff, we had it. I felt like really myself, I could have been better prepared in the weight room.
Now, as a student athlete, you got to balance both academics and athletics, correct? So
Yes, sir.
how does sports and the things that you learn in a team game, or I mean, you did golf too, so individual, but the work ethic it takes in sports, How does that help you as a student and as a person?
I think one thing that helped me out would be time management. Getting up at 6 a.m. for workouts and having a whole schedule, it really gets you in the routine of doing the right thing and doing what you need to do. And it also helps out with academics. We have a program called SNAP, and you have to go there for 2 hours every night. You have it, and you can get up to 8 hours of it. So you can be there 4 days a week, but you have that moment to get your classwork done, and then you're really done for after that. So I like to set up a schedule for everything I do. It just helps me.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that was what you were looking for.
No, that you got it. You got it. Okay. Is there any advice that you would give to any high school student athletes that's trying to be where you're at right now?
Yeah, take the weight room serious, because I mean, look at me now. I'm probably the smallest one in the weight room, but you really need to take it serious. It shows on the field who's strong, who's been putting in the more work, who's dedicated. And shout out to my boy Ethan Nolan. He grinded a lot his senior year. Everybody told him that, that everybody was doubting him, and he just put in the work, proved people wrong. And I mean, work ethic goes a long way.
Yeah, speaking of Ethan, you remember that I'm not going to say any names, but it was a clip when he was, I think, a sophomore where he had got hit during first hitting day. You remember that?
Yeah, sir.
That didn't happen
Who
this year.
who was that? Was that?
I don't say no
Yeah.
names.
You remember that play went?
I don't say any names. I won't put them on blast. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen this year. All right. Before we get to the fun part, can you name any ways I've helped impact your life?
I say just to follow my dreams. You taught me. I mean, hearing your story, getting your doctorate degree, just shows that anything's possible. When you're given the second chances, you need to take them. I never thought that I've always wanted to play college ball, whether that was basketball, football, but I never thought I actually could do it. I joke around at practice talking about being a D1 punter, but I mean, if you put the work in, then you can do anything, as long as you work harder than the next person.
For sure. So we're gonna get into some videos. You ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go. All right, Jonah. This
My
is
favorite punt.
yeah. This is a good one right here. Back against the wall. Obviously, this is a tough game. We're playing for field position. This was huge. This was
I
huge.
think I think we were up by 4 at the time, maybe 3 or 4 points. Had to flip the field.
Yeah, and
Little
I think
rugby style.
yeah, they slept on you because they didn't have a guy deep enough. They didn't know you could punt.
And I mean, I think that the rugby punt is a little slept on, because I could roll out, I can throw it, I can kick it, make it roll, but college it's a little different. They want us to stay in the uh, pocket and just kick it high and deep.
Look at that.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably my best game punting was against Stuart Kramer.
And we didn't do a whole bunch of punting, but when we had a punt, you always delivered for us.
Hard to punt when our offense scored 65 points a game, something like that.
Yeah, I have to agree. You was on fire that game. You was definitely on fire that Stuart Kramer game. All right, I'm gonna get into another clip. All right, Jonah, right here, freshman college profile, and I'm going through it.
Yes, sir.
And I got this habit of just going through all of our guys' stuff that's off in college, just catch up with them, see all the cool things that they do, and I like to go into your profiles. You want to just talk anything about you're a college punter, you're a college athlete. How does that feel?
Uh, I mean, it feels good. I never thought that I would be a punter, but I mean, it works. Smart position to play, and I don't know. Definitely, wouldn't say I put myself above like high school athletes, but I definitely want to encourage others to try to play college ball. I mean, you see so much talent go in and out of our school or any school, and then just don't make it to the next level because of an issue, as in they don't want to work hard, they don't want to take academics seriously. It's different things. What does that say my weight is? 155?
Yep, they got
I
one.
put on some weight since then.
What you at now?
I'm at 170 right now.
Okay, so when they come back and do your sophomore year, that should be updated. All right, Jonah. Now, it took
You know the story behind that?
No, I don't have any story behind it, but I can tell you it took me some digging to get this. But I want to pull it up and show it because it just goes to show the type of person you are. And you don't highlight a lot of that stuff because you're a little different than just the typical student or student athlete. You got a lot of different phases and facets to your diamond. So here's one of the many facets that you have.
Hi, my name is Jonah Tincher, and this is a piece of my market. This is my piece of my market that I gave away when
I haven't seen this video at all. I told myself I'd never watch it.
but I felt like they needed something to cheer them up. A woman from Washington State, after I sent her a care package, she sent this back in return. This reminds me of all the like good stuff I've done. And this is kind of like the return, one of the returns that I get. Katrina was such a bad tragedy, and this is one of the good things that came out of it for me.
All right, Jonah, you said that you wouldn't watch that again. Why?
I don't know. I felt like when I was little, I was kind of embarrassed about it. But now looking back at it, I was helping other people. And I felt like I was doing something, even though it was something so small. But it just showed that I like to help others in need. I mean, somebody's always asking for $1. Yeah, I got it. I'll give it to you. But
No
always
doubt.
helping my people.
No doubt. And Jonah, you're the type of person, you just do that. I've watched you do it for years. And it's just something that just comes easy. How do you have because you even got it, you don't when it comes to helping and having empathy for people. Not so much sympathy, but empathy and putting yourself in their shoes. And you've always been the type of person that was willing to help someone. I mean, where does that come from?
A number of things. I can say that one thing growing up, I played for G-Top Sabres. I had this kid on my team, and his name was Eric, and he was homeless, and everybody made fun of him, and I kind of felt bad. So I'd let him hang out with me, and he didn't have any cleats, so I'd give him my cleats. And, you know, when I found out they were living in a car and didn't have much, then, you know, I felt that it was my mission to help him out. And he actually became like, and he wasn't the best football player, so that's why everybody made fun of him. But he became a player at the end of the year.
For sure. That's amazing, Jonah. Like, salute to you. And continue doing that work because you got, you're building I always say as a helper, like as you live and as you go through and experience life, you're just building, you kind of strengthening and sharpen your sword and your shield to help other people. So continue to use that sharpen your sword. And I think you'll be definitely in the helping field coming up. So we're going to go ahead and get to these photos. You ready for that?
Yes, sir. You growing your hair back out?
I am. Got it growing back out. Yeah. All right, Jonah. What does family mean to you?
Family is everything, really. As you can see, my dad's on the right, my mom's on the left. They've always been here for me. I'll always be there for them. They're the ones that keep me going, keep me pushing me towards my goals. My dad always told me, he was like, don't swim across the whole ocean and then drown on the shore at the other side. So you always finish that last leg of the race and, finish what you started. My dad always told me, don't be a quitter in life, because then once you quit once, then you can quit so many times after that.
But yeah, Jonah, those are wise words from your father. Do you want to talk about this picture?
I mean, I have no clue where you got this from.
Well, I do my digging, and your mom gives me a lot of ammunition, even though she didn't know. Pull this up, but I'm looking at the polo. I mean, this is probably the first and last time. I mean, this is the first time I've seen you with the polo button all the way up to the top. That's not a
I
Jew.
mean, my mom used to dress me. She probably had me wearing polos until I was 6. And I'd never wear it again. Might catch me in church with a polo on.
Good stuff. All right, we talked about family. I know you got a real special bond with your mom. Can you talk about your mom?
Yeah, I mean, she's probably the best woman that will ever come into my life. Right now, she's battling breast cancer. She just had a surgery yesterday, but she's doing good, and she's gonna keep fighting. So I'm gonna keep fighting as well. Help her with anything she needs, and I mean, I do it for my family and do it for my last name.
Yeah, your mother's an amazing woman, a real amazing woman. All right, Pops. You want to talk anything about Pops?
I mean, Pops is my best friend. We were playing golf that day. He's always been there for me. As you can look back on film, he's always standing there at the end of the end zone. Always telling me I had a good block, telling me I need to make a better block. Always at my basketball games. He's been a big supporter with anything I want to do.
No doubt. And I always thought you had a great balance of with your parents, fire and ice. Just they both play different roles, but both important. But they did a great job of supporting you. And no matter what role they play, it was always about supporting you, and they always were supportive of any team or any coaches that you've been coached by. So shout out to your parents. All right, you're going to have to explain this for me, Jonah. All right. We got the baggy shorts. High socks, number 23. So obviously it's probably because of LeBron or Jordan. Which one?
Jordan. It's because of Jordan. I've out of all my basketball numbers, I've wore the number 1 probably 3 times. I've wore 10 twice, 5 one time, and the rest have been number 23. Every year I try to get 23. I'd make a special request to my coach, but
for sure.
That was actually probably the worst. That was the worst sports team I've ever been on. We went 3-8 that year, and 2 of the wins came into the playoffs.
Well, it looks like you're getting back on defense. The look on your face, it looked like you're gonna foul somebody, and I'm gonna get into that later. How many games did you foul out? Let me ask that.
How many games did I foul out? If I had 3 before the first half, I was fouling out. And I don't know. I'd say 1 out of 10 games I'd foul out, and the other 9 I'd play smart. It just depends who we were playing.
Most definitely. I got a cool story about football. I'll get to that when we get later down the slides. All right, Juice. What's going on here?
I had to support the powder puff game. If you're gonna do something, you gotta go all out. You gotta try to do the best.
And you and Mason Graham, y'all always went all out. Y'all would be, and that's what I would try to tell the football players, and everyone's too cool for school, and this is your high school experience. Dive into it, right? And y'all always dived into it.
You're bringing up pictures now that bring up memories. They need to create memories over the 12 years, 13 years.
Mm-hmm. This is stuff that we can always go back and look back on. Your kids can look back on, and it's always good to have a good laugh. I do that with my kids, old pictures of myself, and I didn't take a lot of pictures when I was younger, but they like to see the old pictures more than I like to see them. So it's always good to have these memories. All right. What? Because my nickname for you obviously is Juice, right? And it comes from the movie Juice. One of my favorite movies is the movie Juice. And at the end of the movie, one of the guys say, "Hey, you got the juice," right? And I always knew since 10th grade you had the juice. Like you just had this cool, calm, collective way about yourself. Like everyone hung out with you. Everybody thought you was the cool kid in school. So to attach you like Hollywood on top of your name, that's not who you are. You are far from Hollywood. We're gonna talk about this picture.
Yeah, I went so we probably walked up halfway up that mountain just to tell us that we couldn't get no closer. That's actually the closest that you can get to a Hollywood sign. But this was spring break this year, and my roommate took me over to California, and it was a blast. Definitely different. Probably the best week of my life, but it's definitely different from the East Coast.
All right. Again, we talked about the many facets of your diamond. You done a lot. You went from you went from football to basketball to golf. That's really like a unique mixture. You want to talk about?
Yes, I'd use football to really get out my aggression, I'd say, and I took a lot of damage in football. Same thing with basketball, and I kind of use golf to slow myself down, but also stay fit at the same time. And I kind of developed a relationship with golf. So yeah, it took a toll on my body going from all of those sports, and I feel like I needed to take a break. But it's nice playing one sport now.
All right, many people don't realize that you was our school winner for the Wendy's Heisman nomination. So you want to talk about this moment?
This is when I felt like I was actually doing something in football wise and for our school. Like I said, I always joked about going D1 and stuff like that. But when the awards started coming in and getting a couple offers, and it was surreal at first.
Yeah, and Jonah, you're a much better athlete than you give yourself credit for. Now we had some dudes on this team, right? We had some dudes, but this award was more about your combination of academics and athletics. Now you had to be superior athletically, and you had to also be superior academically. So this was like almost a complete package award. All right, we talked about golf earlier. I like this picture. It's a cool picture. Got a lot of cool people in it.
So, got Jake, Max. Yeah, that's just it's a different brotherhood there. Nothing's better than football. Football just brings you close on a whole different level.
But there's a bunch of football players up here. You got Max, you got Jake.
Yeah, you got Ian.
All y'all started football together.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna shout out Coach Hawkins. Ken's a good, solid dude, man. Jake Pops.
He is. He's probably one of my favorite coaches up there with you. He was fun guy, laid back, but he would also get on to us if we weren't doing what we were supposed to do. But he's just a good mentor and good dude to look up to.
And Ken got a little, you see in this picture, people don't realize it, but you look at Ken got a little bulk to him, look like a little linebacker right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that little definition. But he's a calm guy, real cool person to know. But right now he looks like a middle linebacker. All right. Continue on with your golf career. This looks like a football player playing golf. This is what this face looks like. Can you explain this particular face?
I was determined. I wanted to beat everybody. I specifically told my coach, so there's the 1 seed, 2, 3, all the way to 6. And the 1 seeds would always shoot a little lower than me. And I told him to put me in the 2nd seed all the time so that I could get better with people that are shooting around me, but I'd still beat them. And I don't know, every time I'm in an event with somebody else, I want to beat them. That's just how I grew up.
All right. I don't know why.
I gotta zoom in on this picture.
I don't know where I got this picture from, but we're in the locker room. Now it went down in that locker room. I'm just here to tell you, what goes on in the locker room stays in the locker room, right? It is
Yes,
intense,
sir.
and I think this was before game, and I don't know who we playing.
I forgot who was talking, but I do remember that talk being serious because I'm paying attention. And it looks like everybody's just quiet. Everybody's serious. I can't remember who we were playing though.
Is that Mason King beside you?
Yes, that is. I believe so. And then Marcus in the corner and Ethan.
Oh man, it's a good team right here. This is a good team. And I think that, that particular year, we had a lot of smart individuals. Every year I'm blessed to have smart players, but I can see a lot of future coaches in this picture. A lot of future coaches. I think you seen this a little earlier, but people don't realize that, you did everything. Of course, you're playing college football as a punter, but you was a heck of a receiver. You would do anything that we needed you to do. And I think this picture best shows that. You're actually playing tight end at what, 155, right? 150, 155. Who does that but Jonah, right? But you was one of our best blockers. You want to talk about this?
Like I said, just one-on-one, apply the pressure. I feel like I was slept on just because my size. I feel like I'm stronger than most people think. Once you get them going one way, then you just got to keep pushing. You got to be a dog out there.
Most definitely. You was a dog, and you still a dog. The thing is, I always remember about you, Jonah, is whenever you want to lay a lick to someone or you want to get somebody, you will always tell me, Coach, he's holding me. You remember that? You look to the sideline,
Yes, sir.
He's holding me. Because when you told me he was holding you, I knew a couple plays later you was gonna hit him. You was gonna get him pretty good. And you would, and you did a good job. You would lock in on somebody on the team and you would get in their head. I remember being at one of your football games your senior year and being in the stands, and you baited this kid left and right into getting pretty much kicked out the game. And I said, man, that kid, he doesn't know. Jonah's baiting him. He's baiting him. He's baiting him. There you go. He got a tech. Kicked out the game. And you sitting there left.
I do like antagonizing. I like it more on the basketball court because I get right next to them and look them in their face. But football's fun too. You get to hit people. I do like picking out people before a play and trying to go lay them out, especially when there's a bad hit and the whole team's telling us their number, and then everybody tries to go for that one person.
No doubt. I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to get a number of the kid, but I remember it was a superstar kid. He did everything for a team, and you were just teeing off on him. He played special teams, and he shouldn't have been, honestly. But you made it your business to touch him every single time, just laying a lick to him. And it wore on that kid throughout that game. Yeah, I don't want to say their name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. He played everywhere, quarterback, safety, kickoff return, and you just hitting them every play.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I want
and he would kick it, hang back. Yeah.
Not getting a part of the action. You make sure you stay back and touch them. Good stuff, man. All right. We talked about your mom earlier, but here's both of your senior nights, one for football and one for basketball. How was this sharing this moment with your mother?
It was great. I liked bringing my mom out and showing who influenced me and who raised me to be who I am to everybody else, and just showing where I came from. But she means the world to me.
All right, going through this process, going through the recruiting process, and you did your research. You made a couple visits, and your parents was real supportive of that process. And I think they're a great example of for future student athlete parents on how to be supportive during that role. They gave you all the resources you need. They made sure that you took visits. How was sharing this moment and sharing the process with your parents, and how helpful were they?
They were definitely helpful a lot. It helps going on visits and truly find what school you like the best and where you go to or where you want to go. I looked at a couple schools and I felt that Carson Newman was the best fit for me, and they have really nice athletic complexes. But I feel like long as I feel like athlete needs parents that aren't real pushy about certain schools and let you make the decisions that you want to make. And they were really good about doing that and let me pick where I wanted to go.
For sure. All right. So you signed, you unpicked Carson Newman. Now you're signing. You want to talk about this picture?
I mean, those are a lot of people that have influence in my life. Whether that's the golf course or growing up playing football, there's one of my coaches in there. My grandparents, they're always here for me. They're actually here right now helping my mom out. It's just one big family right there. And I know those people will always be there for me no matter what.
All right. I thought this was classic. I mean, you got your, what's that, kindergarten pre-K graduation?
Yeah.
And then your senior graduation. You want to talk about this picture and just everything coming full circle?
There's a lot of growth in that picture. Same person, but also a different person too. I learned a lot in life, but that picture is actually hanging up inside, right inside, and I don't know. I like looking at it and seeing that I'm actually both wearing blue in both pictures. So looks like a little transition from when I was little and didn't know anything, and then now I am where I am today.
For sure. All right, now you in college. Big time college football player, right? What's this moment like?
Sir. It's definitely a different experience. So when I first walked out there and got the dress, I mean, just the crowd, everything, I actually felt like I made it somewhere. And even though it's a smaller school, but there's definitely some dogs in college, and it's different from high school ball.
For sure. I love this picture because, I mean, people don't realize you're not a little dude. I know you talked about you being 155, but you're about 6 feet, 6'1", and you're not a
Yeah.
little dude. So it definitely illustrates or it shows your size and your growth.
Yeah, I definitely got bigger.
All right, check this picture. And I think I'm blocking you here, but I like this picture. Is this I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a good special teams picture right there. I mean, that's probably the best special teams. I mean, Nate Kraft, number 40, he's a phenomenal kicker. I learned a lot from him. And then Drew Udy, he's on the left right there. He's helped me a lot too through this process. I mean, because going in, I didn't know a lot about kicking, so they kind of showed me the roots, and I've gotten a lot better. Just looking to get some work in soon once these fields open up.
for sure. And I had Carson on the other day, and one thing I talked to him about was in high school, the thing that goes overlooked is probably the kicking game, your kickers. Most high school football
It is.
coaches, they're just going to grab a kid that plays soccer and add them to the football team. So it's not a lot of coaching there. And I mean, it just gets overlooked. But I am really impressed with how you have developed without having that consistent kicking coach and not having that attention to detail throughout high school and adjusting to, I know you said it's a smaller school. Well, Carson Newman's pretty big. I mean, there's a lot of kids that would love to be there.
Yeah.
To transition to big time football as a punter and never really having that experience or that coaching. Let me say that.
Yeah, Coach Goss and them with special teams, they do a great job. We definitely take it serious. We spend a lot of time in the room watching film. I mean, it's needed. Lenore Ryan, I mean, they tore us up on special teams. It just shows that, I mean, it does impact the game.
All right, Jonah, before we go, any last advice to any student athletes out there?
I'd say just to follow your goals. Don't let people tell you that you can't do anything. You always put in the work and prove people wrong. That's probably my favorite thing is prove people wrong.
Any last shout outs to anyone that we haven't talked about?
I mean, shout out Carson Newman, Coach Goss, Coach Reese, Coach Washington, Miss Tolson. Academics are very important. Miss Stallings helped out a lot through this process, picking schools, and then just my family and everybody that helped me through the process.
Yeah, before we go, do you want to talk about the impact of Miss Tolson and Miss Stallings on your life?
Without Miss Tolson and Miss Stallings staying in my ear about grades in school, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I felt like I wouldn't have truly found the school that I needed to go to. I mean, they helped me out a lot, giving me advice. I know I talked to you about some schools, but they really make it easier and just make sure that you're not alone through the whole recruiting process and picking a school, SAT classes. And
For sure. Well, Jonah, thanks for coming on. You know, if you ever need coach, reach out to me. It's a family. It's, you know, bigger than football or bigger than the situational moment. I want you to stay safe. Tell your mom and your father I say hey, and be safe.
all righty.
All right. Appreciate you,
Thanks,
Jonah.
Coach.
All right.
Yes,
Take care.
sir.